Another day, another mid-century masterpiece, and this one put me to work. From stripping old finishes to rebuilding details, this project had a little bit of everything. Let's jump in.
Next up, I got my hands on a coveted piece of furniture. These sell really well in my area, hard to find. Let me show you. That's right, I got myself a 9-drawer mid-century dresser. 6-drawer dressers like this I could find all the time. This is a Bassett. All the drawers look fantastic. I just need to clean them up, and they all glide so smoothly. Wow. That's crazy. There is a little bit of wear on the handles, but the veneer looks really, really good. Again, on all the trim, it's, obviously it's been dinged up a while. The top is definitely not real wood. It is a laminate, I can already tell. This may be a really good candidate to paint. I could always put on a new veneer top. I don't know yet. I may put it out there to see if anyone would like to claim it, and then they can design it however they want. It's a good piece, guys. I'm not gonna start it quite yet. I'm going on a little bit of a break, but when I come back, we're gonna get right to it. Well, I'm back after a nice little vacation, and I'm gonna tackle this piece right here. And I think I want to try to restore it. Again, the top is laminate. It's not real wood, which is a bummer. It is in decent condition. I might go ahead and order some veneer, but I think I'll decide that after I sand everything down. And I do want to remove this because it's plastic, and I have an idea for the fronts here. Let's see what it looks like without the plastic first. But first, you guys know what's next, right? Let's do this. A lot of times you'll take these things off and there will be what people typically call ghosting, and you'll kind of see what I mean when I take these off. And there's always going to be a little discoloration or fading with where these were placed. But let's see how easy it is to remove these without damaging them. Plastic, so don't come after me for taking these off. All right, should we see what this looks like sanded down? All right, see what I mean? Would be almost impossible to try to get this so it's an even color all the way around. So we're gonna do something instead. right, I have this idea. I don't know why I make things so difficult. But this is also kind of fun. I want to create, I wonder if I should lay it on its back, do it that way. You know what's crazy? I wonder if it's easier actually to just put them on here and then cut them. So I want to do some sort of design. God, I have a feeling that would be easier to do it that way. This is me just kind of thinking as I go. Need to find the middle. Okay, here's the part nobody warned you about, the planning. I swear this wood slat design looks so simple on Pinterest until you're sitting here trying to make it actually make sense in real life. And if you've been around my channel for a minute, you already know I rarely do things the proper way. I do things the Annie needs to stay sane way, which means I'm over here testing angles, lining things up, second guessing everything, then redoing the same measurement I literally just did. Honestly, there are probably a dozen methods that are faster or more professional than whatever I'm doing right now, but I'm trying to find the easiest, most efficient way for me, and my brain is fighting me every step of the way. But don't worry, once I figure it out, I'll show you exactly what I land on, even if it wasn't my first or second or fifth idea. All right, let's find the middle. All right, we found the middle. 10 inches. And then I have these spacers. Got to figure out the easiest way to do this. I'm going to try this. Since I've got a little template, I can do this. Well, let's see if I got these to line up. looks pretty good. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. That took maybe a little longer than it should have. Now I just need to cut the wood slats. We'll see if I can do that. First, I need to sand these down. And I'm gonna mask up. I think I'm just gonna use 220. I'm sure there's an easier way to do this. I'm gonna cut these using my new tools. So I'm gonna try my new WORKPRO Japanese saw. Okay, so this is my first real project using my new Japanese pull saw from WORKPRO Tools. Now, this is not sponsored or anything. I'm just trying something new. And let me just say, there is definitely a learning curve. Everyone online makes it look so smooth and effortless. Meanwhile, I'm over here holding my breath and double checking that I still have all 10 fingers. These saws cut on the pull stroke, which means you can get insanely clean, precise cuts once you figure out how to let the saw do the work instead of muscling it. I think I want to use them for the smaller cuts. For these guys, pretty good cut. Wow, that fits like a glove. But as I keep going, I finally start to loosen up a bit. My grip got lighter, my confidence went up, and I realized, and I should have known this, if you just trust the tool and let it glide, it's actually easier than a traditional push saw. And I'm honestly really impressed. Clean cuts, super control, and no tear out. Definitely going to be reaching for this one a lot more. First piece. It's pretty good. I don't know if I should hand saw all of them. Just the little ones. I got one side. Strike that. I got one more right here. This one. The Japanese saw is perfect for these little cuts. All right, last little piece. I think I'm done for the day.
I actually love this part. You know, when you've been staring at a design in your head for so long, wondering if it's actually going to work, and then suddenly everything starts clicking. By this point, all that trial and error, all the measuring, remeasuring, and overthinking the angles, it finally pays off. Once I got in a rhythm, it honestly became kind of addicting. Every piece I added made the pattern a little clearer, and there's something so satisfying about watching your own vision finally show up right in front of you. This is when the whole project shifts from, is it going to work, to, oh yeah, this is actually working. So here's where the hazards of being an amateur videographer and part-time boom operator really start to shine. Because my audio, yeah, it basically clocked out, went on break, and never came back, at least for a part of the day. So we're just going to pretend the silence was intentional, you know, for dramatic effect. Anyway, this is the part where I decided to get ahead of the game and stain all the flat surfaces on the drawer fronts first. Since the wood slats will sit right on top, it made way more sense to get an even coat down rather than trying to shove a brush into a bunch of little tiny corners later. I also pre-stained the edges of the wood slats themselves. That way, if the spacing between them shifts even a hair, you won't see any raw wood peeking through. Trust me, doing this step now saves a ton of frustration later. So while my audio took its personal day, at least the project didn't.
All right, here's the moment of truth to see if it all lines up. Now, I still need to do a little bit of trimming or sanding and sanding, but oh man, that looks pretty good. Wow. Yeah, I just need to do a little bit of sanding, but I'm gonna let that dry overnight. Let's see this last one. Pretty happy with it. 48 hours for these to dry. Now I'm just gonna sand them down to make them even. Get my mask. Gonna be very gentle. There we go. Nice and flush all the way around. I'm gonna fill in just this part with some glue and some sawdust. And then I will sand it. Just clean it up a little bit. That's pretty good. Do you see the difference? I don't know if you can tell. This is with glue and some sawdust, and then that's the before. All right, time to get some veneer on here. This is super easy to work with. I want to leave a little bit of a lip. That way I'll cut it. Go back.
good. Right there. So I wanted to slow things down for a minute and show you this part in real time because yes, applying this self-adhesive wood veneer is actually as easy as it looks. I know veneer can seem intimidating, trust me. I avoided it for years, but this stuff is honestly kind of magical. The backing peels off like a giant sticker, and once you get that first edge lined up, the rest just falls into place. Pressing it down with my hands first to make sure there are no air bubbles, and then smoothing it out as I go. And that's really the trick with this project, slow and steady at the start so you don't have to fix anything later.
That couldn't have gone on here any more perfect.
You can see how quickly it transforms the surface. It instantly gives you that fresh, real wood look without the headache of trying to repair or sand through old laminate. So yes, if you've ever wondered whether applying veneer is doable, this is your sign. If I can do it in my workshop in real time with a camera rolling, you absolutely can too.
Perfect. I'm just gonna put some preconditioner on these. This walnut typically doesn't need preconditioner, but I'm thinking these will. We want it to be as even as possible. I will be using some toner, more than likely, at the end to make sure everything matches up nicely. Really happy with how these turned out. Let those sit for a little bit. This is the fun part. All right, let's see how this works. Me. Using 1,000 grit before I put a top coat on it, just to get anything that it maybe has settled on here.
Well, here she is. This Bassett dresser has officially crossed over from tired and dated to warm, modern, and completely one of a kind. If you remember the before, you know this piece originally came with those plastic molded details on the center drawers. They definitely had a look, but it wasn't the look I was going for, so off they went. That's when the real fun started. I cut and installed my own custom wood chevron trim to rebuild the entire center section. And yes, that meant a lot of tiny cuts and a lot of patience and a lot of double checking angles, but look at the result. Totally worth every second. The top also got a full upgrade. The old laminate was replaced with a brand new wood veneer, stained in General Finishes Candlelight and sealed with Armor Seal for that buttery smooth finish. Every drawer, every slat, every detail got attention. And seeing it all come together with that warm tone and clean modern lines and the new staging setup just makes this transformation feel extra special. Thanks so much for hanging out with me through this process. If you enjoyed this makeover, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. It really helps grow the channel and lets me keep bringing you more flips like this. And as always, it's about flipping time.